Hey. So, we're here today with a game called Bad End Theater, which is a game that I've seen a few people play. So I'm not going in totally blind, but was also a game that I really enjoyed watching, and I saw people play it a few years ago. So I figured I'd get it and try it out. Now, I actually planned on setting things up after this, but the game opened, and it opened up to a language screen, which I really appreciated. Because it supports a lot of languages. I can't pronounce half of these. But I really appreciated that. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, content warning, blood, gore, violence, strong language. Fair enough. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll I would like. Demon doll. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the human doll? Play nice. You make friends with the human doll, but it kills you in cold blood. How ruthless. You found your very first bad ending, but don't worry. The story need not end here. Let's restate the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. I control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy just minding your own business. How will I interact with the demon doll? I will play nice. Now that we've both played nice, because it follows what I did last time, you and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. Well, this isn't a bad ending at all. I should have written out this possibility. It's just not suited for my theater whatsoever. Now I know how the story goes, I can set the doll's behavior in advance. As I saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you chose during your last playthrough. But now you can turn each one on and off without having to replay from that doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now try turning the doll's behaviors on and off to see the different outcomes. How will I interact with the demon doll? Attack it. You both attack one each other and die together. End tutorial. I'm done. Do I understand how to play? Yes. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Now, without further ado, let's start the show. I do really like this background music. I think I'll probably start with the maiden. Very purple, like almost lavender vibes. You are a maiden. You live in the peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't tried to... You think about how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone. But maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. Who knows? You are in a church, you pray to your god, asking why you have been born into the role of the maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were just to hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note to venture forth to fight a demon. Just to, see what happens. Not long in your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. I'm gonna introduce myself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting a lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid, do you think? Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon, but not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. consumed maidenhead. Reset the stage. Now I wonder, if that's polite, what choices can we make differently as this guy? You're a demon, underling. In service of the Overlord, you aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It is unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break, so you decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish your lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her boss of everyone? You complain to the Overlord about your friend. You complain to your friends about the Overlord. They agree that she is kind of a snob, and totally deserves to be kicked off the throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation has somehow turned into an assassination plot. Let's overthrow her. Let's not. I'm gonna go with not for now. You tell your friends that you were totally not serious about the whole thing, you're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty good if the only thing you'll have to complain about is that you live so comfortably and there's nothing to do. The others nod, but they don't seem that convinced. You say, wait. A coup d'etat? D'etat? I don't know how to pronounce that. Would be more effective than it's worth. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way down along a path to a nearby village, you encounter a maiden. So this is the story that we just reached. This was the choice that we just made. She greets you and has a favor to ask. Hear her out. You are in a good mood today, and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would even be possible to understand each other before now. The maiden's going on and on about the kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Seems like it could be interesting, besides you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. The Overlord asks where you found the maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you listen to her from now on. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and you say, "That was just a joke, of course." She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to hear a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. I'm gonna go for save yourselves. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad not to be there in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle... To be thinking that, okay. Until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing's expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life far away from humans or demons. Or you'll live peacefully alone in some deep, dark forest somewhere. So that was a bad end, because all of your friends died, and a lot of things happened, but wasn't that bad for the underling. Let's keep neither of those checked for now. Both of those seem kind of bad. Let's see what the battle was. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as pretty reliable and a swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby Demon Overlord's base. Who even puts a village next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But the demon soldiers block you in your path. You could kill them to gain experience, or you could flee like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. You can't return home now, your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll be able to rescue that maiden all on your own when you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle, you're a hero after all, this is your job. After a long trek, you make it back to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past its monsters if you want to reach the Overlord, so we're gonna use diplomacy. You go to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down and make you feel very uncomfortable. They seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord and Maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. There's no time to hesitate. So this seems to be what happens if we don't start killing everything. Asks the maiden what's going on. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing for her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows you two to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You try to make a conversation with the maiden, but she's pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her tracks, and you turn her head to ask her what the deal is. Oh, the Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but feel relieved that you got the maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off towards the burning castle. Panic sets in, and you follow her to try and stop her. The smoke is so thick, you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them that there was nothing you could do. You were too late. Bystander, hero, and B. Okay. I'll reset the stage. Now, I wonder what happens if she allows him to go without him being rebellious, so that he doesn't tell his friends. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose entire purpose is to make their life to dethrone you. What's their deal, anyway? You've actually avoided the humans in hopes that they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing, if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being an evil Overlord as they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the highest standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts on how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place and guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but their way of whining about it kind of bothers you. What do I do with this? Let's grant them the day off, because I'm hoping that he won't then tell his friends, so that they won't burn us down. You tell them to take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide that a little nap for a while, being an Overlord, sure is great. You awake to a knock at your door. The underling from earlier has brought back some company. It's Maiden from a nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The Maiden then goes on to say she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her that you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maidenlike? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about her, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside, and she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked into you without contempt. Well, let's let her stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away, she just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not all what she expected them to be. You are glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as to not agitate them and get heroes sent after you. That explains why people in my village have been left unharmed, because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. I missed a dialogue there. That's an accent. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time, and that you were actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here, as people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden, who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything was explained, the hero expresses his relief that the whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Let's see if we can keep her here, because this is just what happened to... Yeah, let's keep her here for now. The maiden came here to be captured, didn't she? You'll grant her a wish. You tell the hero that you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you that she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened, and you don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now, she doesn't have to leave. You take a step towards the maiden, and she backs herself into the corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now. That was also not a great ending. Several people died. Reset the stage. Now, I wonder, if we then play as the hero, what happens when we get to that point? Okay, now I have two choices. Ask the maiden what's going on, destroy the Overlord. I believe that we've seen this before. So the maiden explains. No one got hurt. At least there's that. You ask her to return with you. The Overlord objects this time. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like this. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let you two go, you'll have to assume that she is evil, and you'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembodies you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way, only to meet with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. I disagree. Your dying wish for the maiden is to somehow make it out of this life. Naive hero end. Okay. So what happens if I remove possessive? And then what happens if I place the underling? They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep for long, your friends woke you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say that they're planning a whole revolution, now to get rid of the current overlord, and put a brand new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or not. Being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble, how about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. She's actually not so bad. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you before you can ask what they're really sorry about. One of them seizes you suddenly. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten more. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things are this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat. Where's the map for this? No, I don't want to. Okay. I think this has been the main path for me. Oh, the hero does nothing as the demon castle burns down. Okay. If the Overlord begins... Days off. Alright. Overlord allows the maiden to stay in chat. And then diplomatic versus dutiful. Okay. Underling behavior hungry. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, I'm gonna try and do this one, and then see what happens here. Okay. I'm gonna try and get to this one. Maybe this one. Try to reach the true endings. Okay, I think that's this one. So we did diplomatic, let them go. Okay. So that's diplomatic, polite, neither of these. I just have to not be possessive. Okay. Let her stay a while. Skip this. Let them go. You're certain that she'll respond... You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that. You decide. With the hero and the maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious Overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You open your room, friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while, until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed in flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something is blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being aggressive? Or they have zero foresight? What castle will they rule if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful people. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them. In hell. Burned Overlord End. Reset the stage. So then which one is this? Was that... Okay, that's this one. So I went down this route. So that's the underling. Who is this then? The maiden? Okay, so I tried to do this, but this happened, whatever this was, that caused it to go here. Okay, so now I think I have to do that exact same thing as the underling to see what happens. Oh, none of those, okay. I think I have to be disloyal this time. You tell them that you were just joking, and to clarify that you're totally in with it. They say you're always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'll end up on the wrong side of things. If the assassination doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in the room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan, that could go wrong in so many ways. You realize that your friends are just a bunch of direct thugs. The directionless thugs. Useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head-on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go through it. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this, but you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to go assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. Interesting. We have 3 colors now. No, we have 4 if you count the purple. We have the pink from the Overlord, we have the yellow from the hero, we have the blue from the underling, and the purple. You and your friends notice that a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Aren't they headed into the Overlord's room? The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Surely enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. They blame you for the whole thing on you. They cry that it was your idea and that they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they'd tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. They'll shout that you did it. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately, all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitorous friends mutter something about going back to Plan A, and then suddenly the door slams shut. You were trapped in here with the Overlord and the 2 humans, and then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat, and you cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You are sure now that they would have killed you if you sided with her. The Overlord doesn't hear any of your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Traitor underling it. Interesting. So, where did that go? Oh, it went right there. I think we have to... What is that? I think we have to do that exact same thing and then play as... maybe the maiden here? So that the Overlord will listen? And then we can get the true ending? Okay, so we need Disloyal, and we need that, and we need none of these. Okay. Then we play as the maiden. Okay. The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him. Making sure everybody know, the Overlord allows you to leave, and you do that. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. Here we have all of the colors again. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. The hero shakes his head, and he says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world would be better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What sort of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all of your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were part of this evil plot. They seemed so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying that the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You are relieved when the Overlord demands silence, and then she threatens them with violence, or you think she's... And you think she is very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds the door to distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And then, thinking that you must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, and you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them and left as you were told, then only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path is an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. There's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are all consumed by flames. Devout Maiden End. So then what happens if I play as the Overlord and decide not to do that? If this guy's disloyal, I think it leads to... I'm not sure. Oh, because I haven't done this yet, so it's basically just this ending yet. So I need to play as the Overlord in the end there. Okay. And then we let them go so that they can do that. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and the hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. I really like this art style, and the fact that it's, like, all coming together. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that all the humans are liars, followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell at them, all of them, to shut their traps. You have no doubt that the servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try and take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to a plan A, and then suddenly the door is shut. You, the maiden, and the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. Your underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though, right? You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that really has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration that you don't even notice that they've grabbed you while those underling traitors blamed everything on you. Well, everything on that one. They cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot knowing that they would be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. I think that this is the forgive them route that I need to be taking. They'll still burn in the flames, but you release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You will burn. Overlord's true, and okay. Before you're taken to the reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself. What was the point of all my effort if the true ending is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain setting in? Oh, you should have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flows, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness, and you aren't going to find them here in my theater, my lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyhow, I hope that you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always mine. He'll leave me to it. Reset the stage. So if I look at that, that was Overlord True End, which means that this, the other Overlord End is just... Wait, is it? Huh? How can he be not disloyal and still do that? And don't give up, surely there's a good ending somewhere. That's reassuring. So I guess I just have to play that route as the hero? Get his true ending? Okay. Now we're at this point. They're talking about an assassination in their overlord. This proves that the demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world was better off with less demons, you thought. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle. You have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically cries, tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It is followed by a group from the entrance, who shift the blame back to the little one. These demons really only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them. The whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly, and if you have to cut through everyone here to get the maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving their little runt and litter behind. In an instant, the whole room is filled with flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? Your underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been destroyed. You join it, vowing to slay all of them. The next moment, the Overlord has taken a hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but The Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Hero's true end, okay. I think I'm so hopeful for the good ending. Even though it's bad end theater. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen if you collect them all. You will give in to despair, or time for the maidens. Here we are. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but it doesn't make any difference. Will you all burn together? Maiden's true end. I think I have a choice here. Do I have the underling's ending for this? Keep collecting bad endings for now? You know what? It can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing your paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing I can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into my own hands. Interesting. You boldly insert yourself into the story, and you use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. I didn't know I could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel like this body doesn't accurately represent you. You move past it. The hero, the maiden, the underling, and the overlord have been staring at you, too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now, but you guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will I say to them? You explain to the group that you've witnessed their many terrible intertwining fates, and I'm searching for a good ending. Of course, this makes no sense to any of them, only the maiden understands your compassion. My prayers have been answered. You must be her god? No, I'm merely the player. I suppose if there was a god here, then that'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go, so... Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along but a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe that you were the only one who could force your way into the stage, did you? I am the narrator, the storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you want. It's got the tragedy mask. Darkness envelops your party, but you don't mind if I send them back to relive their many bad endings, right? You're alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission, it's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of all the bad endings. Then frankly, you should never have come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might be the only way to see a better ending. It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Let me show you what I've got. That's a fun button. Time to fight God. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Defend. Let me try that again. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are. Behold my beauty. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? All of the timelines, the ribbons. You've witnessed 12 of my painstakingly crafted endings. Your heart does indeed ache for these characters. How could you want to put all of that, to put an end to all this? Don't you truly care for them that much? They're still suffering backstage, I know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here at the end of the world. That's right, I came here to save them. And I can't do that alone. I approached the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty, as I expected. They call to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're the pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explained that, no, I'm not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. You tell them that the underling that you've come to save them from tragedy. Tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of jobs I'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life. Never get bossed around or picked on. You think that of the underling's friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot, that only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what are you? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The underling? You must be desperate to call in such an unreliable ally. Huh, if I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over? Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. You're so much fun. Would you like to remember where all that mischief led you? Oh. Okay. You will happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you, having already taken notice to your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then, perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping to meet you one day. You think of all the terrible fates that would, that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst of this story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, you see. I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what she's truly hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. Is there something I can do to find fulfillment? Then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Your HP has run out. You're overcome by tragedy. If you wish to challenge me again, collect more bad endings. You'll be able to reach this path again through the maiden's true end. I'll be waiting. My bad end. I want to try that again. So you're back. Are you ready to challenge me once more? I will find my true ending. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. Doesn't seeing them again make your heart ache? I've witnessed 13... Yeah, I accidentally found an ending. Of my painstaking crafting endings, your heart does indeed ache for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all this? You truly care for them that much? They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here at the end of the world. That's right, you came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Oh, now I have 13 HP. Okay. I can summon all of them now. I found the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you are not a demon. You're... How can you even explain it in a way that the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are attached to him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He is overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, and so no one else wants them. This is the true end for the hero. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero? Please tell me what I can do to reach that dream. Come on, wear the cool clothes. I'm not wearing any. I agreed to follow you, but I did not expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss without him. You're the one who's been killing us, murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We will see about that. Tragedy attacked with a terrible fate. Now I have 9 instead of... what was it? 8. So I think I can take a few more hits. I have to summon the maiden. I need all of them. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon. She is a catalyst for after all of this, after all. You remember this part? She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask, what is it that she was really hoping to gain from this? The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was simple as wanting to reach a place that she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me. Oh, this is the backlog. Right. Return. What is this tragedy? Really such a terrible thing to behold. I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks you with a terrible fate. Now I'm at 6. I can take... How many more hits can I take? They did 3? I was at 9. Okay, I think I can take 2 more. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle, and the underling is on guard duty, as I expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. I've already read this. Okay, trying saving me from boredom first. You think the underling's friends who had bullied him. The company feels restless. The underling will now fight us alongside you. Wait, what? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The underling. You must be desperate to call in such an unreliable ally. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. He did 3 damage again. Okay. I think I can get 1 more. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see that the fire contained to the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and to serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her, it's more that you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. The reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but to think it's a little late in the game to try to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life at my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord has suddenly become clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well I will follow you. You've brought me the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Haha, I hope you were prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Haha, now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combinations of behaviors will open your breath to show me? The hero uses his willpower. Tragedy is reeling. Hope or kindness? In this story, the maiden has so far used kindness to deal with everything. All she was hoping for was to get captured. Kindness was not correct. Okay, so I need hope. Our true endings do exist, they simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. I can't mess up again. Tragedy is reeling. Mischief or tenacity? Tenacity. Knock me down, I'll just come back stronger. The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. The final thing. Ambition or brutality? I have to pick ambition. I reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's hearts united, take aim towards your best possible futures. You all unleash one final attack and destroy the tragedy once and for all. Haha, you've done it. You've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Thank you, maiden. Thank you, underling. Thank you, Overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Don't worry, I'll be making my exit shortly. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. This isn't a good ending. This entire game, we've seen good endings for some people, like the cowarding underling ending. But that wasn't a good ending, that wasn't a true ending, that wasn't good. Everybody died, and I don't think it's fair for tragedy to die. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it, I wonder? You were. Am I satisfied? I am satisfied. This is my one true ending. Your true end. Something's missing. That's not a good end for tragedy. But it is a good end to a 1-hour video, so see ya. Might end up making a part 2.